Hi, welcome to TIFF. The role of the producer is never easy. You really have to make sure that everything is intact, everything is there. Can you just maybe tell me how? And this is the big production. There's a lot of big actors. There's a lot of demands, and for you guys, it's the wave that you need to navigate sometime, or the big tides, or the smaller tides, or what do you do to get this done, the job done?
Well, this film was particularly complicated. COVID was one of the main reasons. It took us several years to finish. It took us 3 tries at the Lincoln Memorial to recreate the March on Washington because of COVID. And then the National Park Service was not able to just let us come back to the Lincoln Memorial. It's a very popular spot. So, as you said, between the huge cast, between shooting in Pittsburgh and Washington, between recreating the March on Washington, it did take a lot of producing. But Tonia and I both were so passionate about the story and about the importance of bringing this man to life and about changing the current fact that no one knows who Rustin is, which we truly hope and dream the film will do. That's what got us up every morning, was the idea that all of the effort's worth it, because at the end we'll have a film that will hopefully let Brian Rustin's legacy live through history.
The concept of the film, I saw at the festival One Life, then I saw the Lee Miller portrayal by Kate Winslet. Whenever I watch the movies about either racism or Holocaust or about World War II, I keep asking myself the same question, why the world would have done what they have done back then. But then I am looking back at 2023, I'm saying that we haven't really changed. It just, there's a lots of regulation, lots of rules and imprisonment. So do you think that if the people would have given the power to return back to the time that was really chaos, do you think they would have returned based on the storyline of Rustin?
I think that stories are incredibly important, incredibly powerful, and we talk a lot about the men and women upon whose shoulders we stand and the people who we reach into history to draw inspiration from. I can't possibly predict what would happen in 2023 America if there was a March on Washington led by a gay black Quaker. What I can say is that Bruce and I would most certainly have been there ourselves.
in the front, with the posters.
With the posters.
So, what kind of this is my last question. When you were making this, being part of this film and producing it, what was your expectation of this? What was your main goal to achieve with this film? Because producing the film or writing the film or directing it, it's always telling the story. Each and everyone has their own story and their own perspective. What's your perspective on this?
I think our ultimate dream and goal was that Bayard Rustin would take his rightful place in history, and that people from now on around the world for generations would know who he is and what he did. But we believe that the only way to actually make that happen is to tell an incredible story, to have it be entertaining and moving and humorous and emotional and relatable. Because if you're just preaching to people, they're out the doors. You've really got to entertain them, and at its best, that's what Hollywood does, is tell stories in such a way that these historical figures can really live on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.